Welcome to Yogalates with SJ. It's so good to have you join me for this bodyweight strength training workout that you can do at home or wherever you happen to be. So we don't need any equipment at all for this. You can just come all the way down onto your mat when you're ready, bringing your big toes together and your knees out wide, allowing the arms to lengthen forward, forehead melting down into your mat. Finding a really deep breath in here, and as you exhale out, allowing the pelvis to relax down, the hips opening a little further, and taking this time to transition from whatever it was you were doing previously to coming to your class this morning or this afternoon. Taking this time to start to tune into your breath, breathing a little more deeply in through the nose and then out the nose or mouth. When you're ready, taking your time to slowly gaze up. We're coming all the way up to a high kneeling, bringing the hands onto the hips, pressing the hips forward as you allow the heart to come up, head can come back. And then as you exhale, starting to come back to your child's pose, lengthening the arms forward, melting the heart, forehead comes down, inhale, drawing back up, lifting the heart up, coming to your back bend. You can bring the hands onto the waist, the low back, or to the back of the heels, or maybe all the way down to the ground. Then you're starting to lengthen forward again, finding your child's pose. Exhale, inhale, rolling back up, and then pressing the hips forward, opening the heart up towards the ceiling, letting the head come back if you want to, and then coming all the way forward, sitting back towards the heels, child's pose. Inhale, coming back through center, finding your tabletop position, and then inhale, gaze up, tailbone up. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, and staying here. Inhale, coming back, lifting the gaze, tailbone comes up. Exhale as you start to press the mat away, rounding the spine, chin to chest. And then inhale, coming back through center and gazing up, tailbone comes up. And exhale as you round the spine, chin to chest, nice C shape here into the spine. Inhale, shifting back through center and then lifting the gaze, tailbone comes up. And then we are rounding the spine, chin to chest as you exhale. Inhale, coming back through center, weight is even through both sides of the body. And exhale, inhale, starting to sweep the left arm up, gazing up, and then exhale as you lower down onto that left shoulder, the back of the left shoulder, and threading the needle, bringing the left arm all the way through, letting the side of the head relax down, taking a deep breath in here, full breath out, trying to keep your hips square, so rather than rolling over to one side or the other, keeping the knees over or directly in line with the hips, taking some really deep breaths in, full breaths out, and then on your next inhale, we're coming back up and tabletop position. Staying here, let's go to the other side. Inhale, sweeping the right arm up, gazing up. Exhale, thread the needle, lowering down onto the back of that right shoulder. Starting to find your breath here, inhaling deeply, and as you exhale, maybe you might walk that left hand a little bit further away, finding some more length through the side waist, through the hip, through the back of that shoulder. Deep breath in here and full breath out, and then coming back through center and returning to your tabletop position. Staying here, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, and then sinking the heels, downward facing dog. Taking some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. On your next inhale, sweeping the right leg up, three-legged dog, flexing through that foot. And then drawing the knee in and placing the foot down, lowering the back knee down and grabbing hold of the left wrist with the right hand and drawing it up and over to that right side, coming back through center, lifting the back knee, high lunge, and then opening out to that left side, warrior two. And then coming all the way forward, framing the front foot, stepping back plank. You can drop the knees if you want to, or staying high, and we are coming all the way down, chaturanga to upward facing dog, rolling over the top of the feet and coming back downward facing dog. Inhale, sweeping the left leg up, three-legged dog, drawing the knee forward and placing the foot down between the hands. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and grabbing hold of the right wrist, drawing it up and over to the left side and back through center. Inhale, lifting that back knee, high lunge, and then exhale as you start to find your warrior two, opening out to the right side. Inhale, coming back through center, framing the front foot with the hands and coming all the way down through your vinyasa, down through chaturanga to upward facing dog, and then coming all the way back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog, drawing the knee in, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog, and exhale, stepping the foot between the hands, lowering the back knee down and grabbing hold of that left wrist with the right hand, drawing it up and over to the right, and exhale, releasing, coming back through center. Inhale, lifting the back knee, reaching the fingertips up, and exhale, opening out to that left side, warrior two, and coming back through center, stepping back plank and downward facing dog, lifting the hips up, dropping those heels, finding your breath, opening up across the back of the shoulders, finding length through the back of the legs. Bend the knees if you need to here. You don't have to have straight legs. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, drawing that knee in, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog, sweeping the leg up. Exhale, coming all the way forward, placing the foot between your hands and dropping that back knee down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, grabbing hold of that right wrist with the left hand, drawing it up and over to that left side, and inhale, coming back through center, lifting that back knee, high lunge. Exhale, framing the front foot, stepping back plank. Drop the knees if you want to, or staying high. We're coming all the way down to the belly or coming to your chaturanga with the knees lifted, and we're all going to meet in our downward facing dog, lifting the hips, dropping the heels. Downward facing dog, finding your breath here, breathing deeply in and fully out. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, and we are stepping the left foot forward, coming all the way to the top end of your mat, folding forward, staying here, bending the knees generously as you lift the hips high, finding length through the back of the legs, straightening out here. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, coming all the way up, looking up. Exhale, bringing the arms down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, looking up. Exhale, floating down, forward fold. Inhale, we're stepping or jumping back to our plank. Drop the knees if you want to, coming all the way down to cobra or upward facing dog, and meeting in downward facing dog, lifting those hips up, dropping the heels down, maybe walking the dog a little bit here if it feels good, taking those cleansing breaths. Inhale, left leg lift, sweeping it high, and exhale, drawing the knee in towards the heart as you start to place the foot between the hands. And we are keeping the right foot forward to meet the left, folding down, forward fold at the top of your mat. And then you are coming all the way up, grounding down, sweeping the arms up. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, floating down, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, coming all the way up, looking up, little back bend, pressing the hips forward, opening the heart towards the ceiling, and exhale as you float down, forward fold. Inhale, finding a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, framing your feet, stepping or jumping back to your plank. Drop the knees if you want to, or staying high, and then you are lifting the hips, sinking the heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting forward, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips, sinking the heels. Inhale, shifting forward, plank. And exhale, coming back to your downward facing dog, sinking those heels. And inhale, shifting forward plank. Exhale, coming back to your down dog, staying strong. Inhale, shifting forward plank. And exhale, coming all the way back to your down dog. Inhale, going to gaze up towards the top end of your mat, making baby steps forward, coming all the way to your fold at the front of your mat. Letting go, ragdoll the head and neck, maybe a little bit of movement here into the head and neck. Inhale, sweeping the arms up as you come up. Exhale, floating down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, float it down, forward fold. Inhale, framing the feet with your hands and stepping or jumping back plank. You can stay high with the knees or drop those knees down, and then we are coming back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting forward, plank. Exhale, bending through the knees, jumping or stepping forward and folding at the front of your mat. Exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up, and we are starting to find a squat here. So you are squatting down, bringing the knees out wide and pressing back up, and then you're finding a flat back as you press the hips back, and you are shifting your hips forward. So you're just hinging at the hips, finding that flat back, pressing the hips forward, and then coming back into your squat. Keeping this going. So we're working through the back of the leg. We are working the glutes. You can keep your arms anywhere they want to be. They may even be on your hips, so you can have your arms in front of you. You can also do this, of course, with some little hand weights or even heavier hand weights if you want to. And then the other, and we're really getting into it here, and awesome. Coming all the way back onto your knees, and we are starting to step 1 foot forward and staying in a squat position, and then stepping 1 foot back and then the other, keeping those toes tucked under. So we want to make sure we aren't rocking around in the pelvis. We're keeping the core engaged, and you are staying in that squat position as you come up. So staying nice and low here, just making sure the knees are not going forward of the toes, and you are stepping back and stepping forward. You can move as slow as you like or as fast as you like. You can also bring your hands onto your waist if you're finding balance a little bit challenging, or if you're finding this a little bit hard to do. It's definitely a challenge. Just moving at your own pace, and then we're coming all the way down onto the belly. Beautiful work, guys. And we're starting to just press up. So you're pressing into the pubic bone as you start to lift the heart up, and keeping length through the back of the neck. Trying not to place too much weight into the hands. The elbows are pressing directly backward. The shoulders are away from the ears. You're lifting up, finding length through the low back, lowering back down with control. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, lowering back down. Awesome. Let's come all the way back to our tabletop position. Keeping the toes tucked under, finding length here, and you are starting to do a press back with that right heel. So you're pressing the right heel back, and then you're drawing the knee back to its original position. Trying to keep the whole body still here, and you are pressing the heel back. So you're keeping a flex into the foot, and you are finding a nice strengthening into the glute, into the back of that leg. Keeping your core engaged, looking after the lower back, and let's come to the other side. Left leg, starting to press that left heel back, and keep it going. Pressing back, drawing forward, keeping your core engaged. Don't let that go. Keeping length into the back of the neck, gaze is slightly forward of the hands, weight is even through both sides of the body. Make sure you're breathing, guys. Awesome. And coming back through center. Now we're opening out to the side. So the right leg opens out, right hip opens, and then you're pressing out with that right foot, and then bending the knee and drawing back to your original position. Keeping this going. And we are keeping our core engaged. You're keeping the hips directly pointing down to the mat. You're keeping your weight even here. Shoulders are away from the ears, and let's come straight to the other side. Making sure that your shoulders are in line with your wrists, knees in line with the hips, core is engaged, and let's go. Starting to do the left side. Press it out, draw it back in, bending and straightening. Awesome. Keep it going. Imagine that you're trying to press something away from you as you press the foot out. Keeping that flex into the foot. Make sure you're breathing. Awesome. We're getting strong. We are getting fit. Beautiful work in such a short time. This is so powerful. Let's go. Coming all the way down onto your back, and we are bringing the hands just underneath the pelvis. You're starting to cross the ankles, lowering down and then drawing back up. So it's a lower down, a bit of a leg lower, crossing the ankles as you do so, and then you are coming back up again. So keeping your belly button to spine, don't let that go. We're keeping a neutral pelvis. You are lengthening the tailbone down and just lowering the legs down to as low as what you want to. So working at your own range. I just want you to make sure you are not letting go of that core engagement. So the whole time you're able to maintain that. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Great job, you guys. We're halfway there. We're going to come all the way up and we are coming to a standing position. So taking your time here to find a standing position, and we are starting to bring our weight into the left foot. So we want to lengthen out through that left side, and then we are lifting the right knee up, and then we are opening the hip out, and we are straightening the leg, drawing it back in, and then coming back through center and lengthening the leg out. So foot comes forward, and then heel comes back, opening the hip out, and doing the same out to the side. As you continue to do this, I want you to just make sure that you are really not rocking around in the pelvis. So I want you to make sure that those hips are directly forward and they're staying even. So just lifting the knee up to as high as what you can keep both hips nice and even and balanced. Awesome. When you're ready, we're coming over to the other side. So placing your weight into that right foot, and we are repeating this on our left leg. So not locking out through that knee joint either. So even though you're extending the leg out, you're thinking about extending the leg out from the hip all the way out to the toes, rather than sort of working into the knee joint. So it's all about using those muscles of the legs, as well as finding that hip opening here as well. We're opening the hip out and then drawing back in, keeping your core engaged, finding that stability, and awesome work. Let's come back through center and find a stretch. So you're starting to bring the left foot forward and you are straightening through the back of that right leg. You've got your right toes on a 45-degree angle. Inhale, coming to a halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, folding down over that front foot. Just letting go here, letting the hips be high. Inhale, framing the foot. Exhale, stepping back, plank. Staying here, drop those knees if you want, guys, or you can stay high. We're going to come all the way down, either to cobra or upward facing dog, and then coming all the way back, downward facing dog, lifting the hips, sinking those heels, and inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bending the knee and stepping that foot forward. And let's come to the same thing on this side. So you're starting to just find some length here through the back of that left leg. You've got the left foot on a 45-degree angle, and you are folding over that front foot, and then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down, letting go. Hips are high, belly relaxed, ragdoll the head and neck. Awesome. Coming all the way back, and we're coming down to a seated position. Hinging back slightly, keeping your core engaged, and you're starting to just lift and lower. So we're bending through those elbows, bringing the hands together in prayer, and you are just starting to lift up and come back down to the heart. So imagining that you are using your core here to do all of this. So we are lifting up out of the pelvic floor, finding length through the back body, and you can lift those feet up if you want to, coming to kind of a half boat position or a V-sit position, or you could even straighten the legs all the way out to your V-sit as you continue with this. But you can keep the soles of the feet on the mat, just working with what feels good, what's challenging, but also where you're not bringing any tension into that low back. Awesome. Finishing here, and we are coming all the way down onto our backs, bringing the hands behind the head, and you're starting to lower one leg down and then lift it back up, and then the other lowers down and back through center. Awesome. Keeping this going. So lengthening both legs towards the ceiling. You're lowering one leg down and drawing it back up, using your core muscles to draw the leg back up, keeping your belly button to spine the whole time, closing the ribs, finding openness across the front side of the heart here, and beautiful work. Let's come all the way back up, bringing the hands to the fingertips pointing forward, and you are just finding a little hinge back and a press back up. So you're finding a little tricep stretch here and strengthen. So just starting to come back, bending the elbows directly backward and pressing back up and drawing back, keeping this going. Keep your belly button to spine so you are not letting go of that core engagement. Shoulders are away from the ears, so don't let those shoulders come up. keeping the soles of the feet flat down on the mat if you can here, and pressing back and not locking out those elbows. Core is engaged. We're working through the back of the arms. Awesome. If you want to make this even more challenging, you can lift those feet up and keep it going. Make sure you're breathing. Don't let any tension come into that low back, so keeping your core engaged the whole time. You always have the soles of the feet onto the mat and just work at a smaller range if you need to. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep it going. We're going to be done soon. You want to just keep this going, keeping strong right to the end. It's a short workout, 30 minutes, but we're getting everything here in this workout. Beautiful work coming back through center, lengthening the arms forward, and we are starting to come up and hinge back. So we are just making a very, very small movement forward and back, keeping length into the spine the whole time. If you want to make this more challenging, you can bring those legs into a tabletop, a reverse tabletop position by bending through the knees and finding that lift of the feet. You might even come to more of a V-sit position, lengthening through the back of those legs. And beautiful work. Let's come all the way down onto our back. We're going to find a bridge position. So just starting to lift the hips up. But in the bridge, we're just starting to rock from side to side. So you're lifting the hip up over to the right side, then the left. So we are just finding a very, very nice little rock from side to side, but at the same time, keeping your weight even through the soles of the feet, keeping the hips lifted, lifting up even higher, coming up onto the back of those shoulders, finding length through the back of the neck. Keep it going. Doing so good. Breathing deeply in through the nose, out the nose or mouth. Keep it going. And then we are staying high, guys. We're coming back through center and just tiny pulses up and down. Very, very small pulses up and down. Keep it going. Breathing in, breathing out, staying lifted, keeping your weight even through both sides. So good. Really squeezing here into the back of those glutes, into those strong muscles here, and then we are rolling all the way back down when you're ready, coming all the way to release. So good. Coming over onto your side. So we're coming over onto your right side here. We're stacking the hips and the shoulders are in line, keeping length here, keeping the core engaged, and we are going to start to lift the top leg up and lower it back down. So if you can bring your left hand onto the hip, just finding a nice neutral here, or you can bring the hand down in front of you for some support. We're just lifting the leg up and bringing it back down. So rather than rolling backwards or rolling forwards, we want to really keep very, very neutral here. So keeping the hips stacked the whole time, the toes are slightly turned out, and you're lifting and lowering down, really squeezing into those inner thighs as you bring the leg down and pressing out through that outer hip as you lift the leg. Amazing work. Next time you bring the leg down, we're bending the knee and drawing that knee forward, and then you are pressing out through the heel, lengthening out, and then lifting the leg up, lowering it down, and then bending the knee as you draw that knee in towards the belly button, pressing out, lengthening out, lifting, lowering, and keeping this going. So as you continue with this, we really are only bringing the leg up to just higher than hip height as you lift up, then you're lowering it back down to hip height, and then you're bending the knee as you draw that knee in towards the heart center, using your core muscles to stabilize as well as to direct this. So we really want to imagine that we are finding a really nice long line from the top of the head all the way out the heel here, and you are using every single muscle in the body. Beautiful work. Staying here, guys, and we're going to start to find circles. So little circles, and finding that extension of the leg, tiny little circles in one direction, keeping this going. We're about hip height here with this, then reverse it, going back the other way. awesome job. And then coming all the way back through center. Let's find the other side. We're going to do all of this on the other side to finish off. So we are coming very close to the end of our workout. Doing amazing. Let's come over to the left and setting up here. Making sure your hips are stacked. You've got your core engaged. You've got your shoulders stacked. You've got your hand, that right hand either on the hip, or you can bring the hand down in front of you. And you are lifting that top leg up and lowering it back down with control. Lifting up, lowering down. Toes are slightly turned out. And you are making sure you're breathing. So we are keeping everything very, very still. We are strong here, but we are not locking out through the joints. So just making sure that you're not locking out through the knee joints. You've still got kind of a softness there. You're working through that outer hip, the outside of the glute, as well as the inner thigh. So really imagining that you are resisting the ear. So it's like the ear is weighted and you are resisting this. Let's find that bend of the knee in. So we are bending the knee in towards the heart, then extending the leg and lifting up. Just slightly higher than hip height, lowering back down to hip height, and then knee bends, drawing it back in, keeping it going. Making sure the shoulders are not coming up towards the ears as you continue with this. We are finding even more length from the top of the head out the heel each time, and lift it up, lower it down, bend the knee, draw it in, breathing deeply in, fully out. So good, you guys. Just a couple more here. Awesome, we're going to find that circle, tiny little circles, so staying here, extending the leg and little circles, keeping that leg lifted just at hip height here, and then reverse it, going back the other way, making sure you're breathing, core is engaged, little circles, beautiful, straight out from the hip and lowering back down. Nice work, very well done, you guys. Coming all the way down onto your back when you're ready. Taking your time here to find a release, just bringing the feet in, and we're starting to rock the knees over to the right side and then up and over to the left side. You might start to let the head roll over in the opposite direction, little head roll from side to side, just keeping this going. So you can move slowly with this or more quickly. Maybe you might flip the palms to the sky, finding a bit of an openness across the front side of the shoulders. You might even bring the arms out a little bit wider, shoulders away from the ears, just letting the tummy muscles relax. And we're just starting to cross the right leg across the left, so just a regular cross of the legs, or you might even just come into a figure four if it feels better. Starting to slowly let the knees fall over towards that right side. Just finding a really, really nice little twist here. You might let the head roll over to face towards that left side. Just finding some stretch through the waist, across the front side of the hip, outer hip, breathing deeply in, fully out. Coming back through center, and let's switch it over. So crossing the left ankle in front of the right knee. If you're doing your figure four, or you might just do a regular cross of the leg, and starting to just let the knees fall over to that left side, and the arms come out wide, rolling the head to face over towards that right side. When you're ready, just a hug of those knees in, the biggest hug you have had all day, maybe all month. just taking some time here to lengthen the tailbone out towards the end of the mat, maybe a little rock from side to side, taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. To finish, you have done so amazing, guys. Well done. If you enjoyed this workout, you might like to check out some of the others on the channel here, free yoga, Pilates, strength training, at-home workouts that you can do anytime, anywhere. It was amazing to have you join me. And I cannot wait to see you again here on the channel soon. Have the absolute best rest of your day or night, whatever it is that you're doing. Just allow the feet to fall heavy, maybe taking hold of the outside of the knees, just letting hips open out, relaxing down here, letting the elbows support into the earth, relaxing. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.